What's up, y'all? This is Healer. I said Miriam, and I am coming at you. I just need to start getting back into my YouTube, period, point blank. I shut down all my pages, so I need you to go subscribe because I need to get all them people that was on all the other pages that I had. I need you to come to one location so that you know where I'm at all times. First and foremost, I need to give a shout out to all of the sponsors. If you have not noticed, we are making some moves in 2016, and I'm so blessed to be doing the work that the Creator has of me to do. And I'm also so blessed to have an amazing team behind me. My team is the stuff. We are for real focused in 2016, as we hope that you are too, and we welcome you to join us in being focused and making sure that you stay focused. So with that being said, my first and foremost thanks goes to the Creator, second to my team, third we want to give a shout out to Timeless Multimedia, Derma Petite, Don Blas, Visions Performing Arts Company, and I am Healer. I said Miriam. You like that? That was funny, right? And I want to talk to the family tonight because we did our first radio show on Spreaker.com/user/Healer Aset Miriam Ali. And join us Monday, Tuesdays, and Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. I think that's enough plugging. But anyway, we talked about how the care of women by brothers, it was Goddess Awakening, it was the sisterhood show, and that it's why it's not there, why brothers don't care, right? Well, only naturally this goes into even further dialogue and inner dialogue of how do we heal this, how do we approach this. And what we need to understand is that there is something that needs to be classified completely separate of any other type of psychology. And we need to understand Black psychology. We need to understand that because of slavery, because of systematic racism, because of police brutality, because of fear for our lives, and this is not just the men, this is also the women, this is also the children. And because of these things, our psyche has been made to have to work differently. We have to approach everything we do, from filling out a job application to applying for a home loan to driving. There's a such thing called driving while Black. So all of these things contribute to the psychology of what it means to be Black in this society, in Western society. With that, it has broken our ability to be strong mates to one another. We are in such a competition with, is the man over the woman? Is the woman over the man? See, it's ironic that with us knowing that this system is so against us, we still attempt to do our love the way that the oppressors have showed us to do our love. We still attempt to do our relationships the way that the oppressor has showed us to do our relationships. And this is sick, okay? This is sick. We have some dynamic brothers and sisters who are horrible mates to their spouses. They leave their spouses. They abuse. When we think of abuse, we are only thinking of physical. There is a such thing as spiritual abuse, mental abuse, emotional abuse, financial abuse. Okay, there are so many areas, and I'm not saying specifically men do this or specifically women do this, because it is both of us. Okay, and once we stop trying to point the finger and say it's because of you, and it's because of them, it's because of her and him and all of them and Joe Schmo, and that's the second time I said Joe Schmo. If every single time we are faced with having to be uncomfortable and the fact that we don't know how to love because of this system, we will not extend tenderness to each other. We can't even get mad. You know, when I see, and I work with so many couples, and this is why this has to be addressed. And I'm talking about couples, non-traditional couples. I work with, I work with couples who are polygamous. I have couples who are polyandrous. I work with couples who don't put them in a box. They got open relationships. I work with, I don't judge anybody that needs healing, right? Right? But there is a theme. There is a theme of we don't know how to be tender and well and loving to each other. And what's so crazy is that we are the most loving people on the planet. We gotta be the most loving people on the planet to be in the position that we are in. We have to be. And because we know we are at war, because we know that we cannot show weakness, we bring that to each other in our homes. You know, it is detrimental for our children not to see us being loving to each other. You know, some of your fondest memories will be memories of your father being in love with your mother serving your father. Okay, these are where we get the ideas, because if we think that we are supposed to bring the militant into our relationships, what happens is the care for each other gets neglected. All you're focused on is work. And when we win, because we will, when we win this war, when we get our rightful place where we deserve, we're going to be so sick, so sick, so sick. See, the Creator doesn't bring things, movements like this to happen the same way they did before. Okay, we don't need the same 60s movement. We don't need the same we don't. There's so many other elements that are not now added to that. You know, the same mantras are the same, no doubt. But if we think that we are to approach our movement the same way that Brother Malcolm did, the same way that Brother Martin did, the same way that Marcus Garvey did, the same way that Noble Drew Ali did, if we think that we are supposed to approach these things the same way, we are fooling ourselves, and we are discrediting the warrior's heart. You know, you can't have a warrior heart and not have a heart. You can't, a tender heart. You can't. If you are, it's imbalance. And when you only focus on fight, you bring that fight into relationships. And what happens is, see, when you understand the science of children, see, the seeds are present. The spirit and the essence of these babies are present before the seed is planted. And if the spirit of your child, okay, when all of my children came to me before they were planted, all of them. And when you talk to sisters who are in tune, they are going to say the same thing. They knew that their child wanted to come through. And when you do that, and then you plant the seed, and you are not being tender, you are not being loving, what you are setting up these children to do is to be oppressive within their own space. See, you can't copy what the oppressors have done. And you can't, what is the point of fighting for anything if you are still going to execute the attack? And there is an attack on the black woman and man being together. And that is the deepest attack of them all. That is the one that, they can kill the women, they can kill the men, but if the women and the men came together properly and in order and in balance with no ego. See, that ego stuff is something that the Europeans have taught us, and we are competing with their ego when we bring it in. See, Africans don't operate off of that. Okay, we operate on understanding that we need one another. We understand balance. We understand the moon needs the sun and the sun needs the moon. We get it. Because we have studied forever. Nothing that is civilized did not come from us, and we forget that, and we allow these situations to lead us in how we deal with one another. You're sick if you have hate towards the opposite sex and you are black and they are black. You are sick. You are toxic. And I don't care how much work, how much writing, how much saving, how much feeding, how much whatever you do. If you do not allow effective love to be seen and be felt and experienced, not on your terms, because that's not love. Divine love is not on your terms. Divine love is understanding that there is a such thing as I have to stand no matter what. That son, the Creator loves us so much that no matter them bombings, them killings, 9/11, Paris, Columbine, everything that done happened, that son still came up. That's divinity. And this melanin, when you understand what melanin does, and I ain't about to go into no science project, even though y'all know I love science. Even I'm not about to go into the whole breakdown of the science and the spiritual understanding of why melanin is so, but we gonna go here and we gonna take it over here, and we ain't gonna do all that right now, because you just need to know that you are so connected to the essence. You are so connected that we got to stop acting like we not. Because when we act like when we act like we don't divinely love each other, when we act like we don't care, when we act like there isn't tenderness, you are perpetuating what the enemy wants. No matter what the fight is, go fight all day. Go fight all day. They don't care. Matter of fact, fight so much that you take it to your wife, that you take it to your husband, your children see that, so your children learn that the only way to be effective is to not be tender, so they're not being tender, so now they don't even care if they're in a relationship, they don't care if the relationship is healthy or not, so they're not growing to be as progressive and productive as they can be if they had true love with them. And so that, you see the cycle? See, we have to get out of the idea that this is the same way. We can't approach it the same way. We know more than we did in the 60s. We know more than Malcolm had access to. There were assumptions, there were thoughts, but we have facts. We have facts. So ensuring that you understand the importance of healing, love, tenderness, care for one another. Why are you so mad you can't heal? You can't heal? Really? You that mad? You that mad that you can't accept love? There's not enough anger in the world, because that sun still is going to come up. We're sick, y'all, and we have to admit it. And after we admit it, we have to stand in it. And after we stand in it, we have to honor it. We have to honor what our experiences are. We have to listen to one another. We have to hold one another. We have to say, I'm here no matter what. And to start that, you have to have courage. It's easy to go rah, 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 and go fight everybody. But it is extremely difficult to stand when it's uncomfortable and you have to grow. But this is a foundation that we need, because once we do win, we have to immediately start building. I'm Healer Aset Mary Mali. I love y'all. And subscribe. Share this. We got to get this healing done. We do.